Hey everybody, how you doing? Good to talk to you again, courtesy at Red Champ Bluffs. I'm looking at my birds up in the air. They've been going for like 2.5 hours. They've been going. Those are the cocks. Let them out. Did a whole bunch of stuff. Cleaned 2 lofts. And they're still flying. So hopefully they'll come down tonight. Well, you guys know what you get here. You get the stuff here. So anyway, this guy right here is my buddy Alex. Alex is from Archhaven Lofts. And today we're here because we want to show you the vaccines that we've used this year to vaccinate our birds. It's a little bit different and I really like it, so without further ado, let's get to talking to Alex and see what the vaccine is all about.
Hi, just want to talk a little bit more about the vaccines. A couple of vaccines that we've been using is it's called a PMV rota vaccines. Curtis and I, we send birds out to one-loft races. The PMV and rota vaccine is a vaccine that I'll show you. It's the PMV rota vaccine that we use. This vaccine is mainly kind of covers the young birds, namely because of all the problems we have with the young birds. So when we're sending birds out to one-loft race, this is kind of like what we're using, this is what we're using for one-loft birds. Also, I know there's been some questions about the salmonella vaccines and what we've been using. Well, I've talked to a lot of the manufacturers in Europe, and one of the vaccines that they're recommending, and I've started using it, is called Salgen. That's another reason why I came over and talked to Curtis today about this vaccine. It comes as a non-live form vaccine. It comes in a powder format, and you can actually give the birds the vaccines it's a water base, so there's no vaccine or shots that you need to give. It's a droplets of 0.3 milliliters of drops per birds, and that's the young birds and adult birds that you're giving the drops to. One of the reasons why I wanted to talk about it as well, because I wanted to come over and I wanted to do a couple of Curtis's bird to kind of give you guys an understand or an idea of how the actual process works. These vaccines are highly recommended by the vendors that I talked to in Europe. The Salgen is one of the ones that they're using a lot in the one-loft races over there.
Yep, I hear that. I hear that. Yeah.
So it's something that, again, the Rota PMV vaccine is another one that is highly used in the one-loft races here, as well as the PHA, which is the PMV, adeno, and herpes vaccines. So a couple of things that, again, we're going to talk about today is we just want to do a couple of demonstration on how these vaccines, especially the Salgen vaccine, because it's really simple. You can give it via the droplets in the beaks, or you can give it into the water. It comes in a vial of 50 dose. So you got to remember, you just measure out 50 doses, being 50 birds. The process that I use that's been recommended from the manufacturer and my distributor that I use is you restrict the water from the birds for the day prior to, so you know that they're going to drink the water for the 50 birds that you're going to give it to. So you spread those doses of water out in your drinkers, and then you allow those birds to come in and drink that.
So Alex, you don't have to withhold the water from the birds if you're giving them the dose by mouth.
That is correct. Okay. So you do not have to withhold the water from the birds if you're giving it to them by mouth, and that's only 3.3 milliliters, and we'll demonstrate that today. That's the way that I'm doing my birds. And yes, one of the things, again, I will talk about it. Salmonella is one of the vaccines that we had some concerns about, because nothing's been proven, but it kind of makes the birds what I would call a little dumpy. And that could affect the bird's ability when they go out to the one-loft race. There's nothing proven, so I want to make sure everybody understand that. So that was one of the reasons why I went to the vendors that I'm using in Europe to ask about that, and they recommended we use the Salgen.
All right, cool deal, buddy. All right, let's go ahead and let's talk about what happens when the vials come. What I was expecting some sort of a, I guess, a liquid, or I mean mostly a liquid, but when he came I realized that it was a, like a little pill, little round, like a piece of, well, how would you describe it?
It's just a powdered format, like a little pad.
Like a powder pad. It's just flat and round, you know, bottom of the, so you know, I mean, Alex has tried this, you know, this before, and I really like it because you know, you could put the drops right down the bird's mouth, so I like that a lot. So today, for the first time with my birds, I'm gonna try it and see how it goes. And I don't suppose it'll be different to any other vaccination. Just that this one, you don't have to inject it in the birds. You can put it in the bird's mouth, 0.3 milliliters per bird, or you can put it in the drinker, but make sure and restrict the water in the drinker for like 24 hours before you give it to them. That's basically it. All right.
Correct.
So go ahead and tell them.
So
when you get the jar, what?
When you get the actual jar, Curtis has already have it. I'll pull the needle out. It'll be a patty inside of this jar. So you mix regular water or the mineralized water or whatever water. It's just as long as regular water or the mineralized water. I just use regular water from the tap. Talking to the vendor, and you mix it. 20 milliliters comes in. It's a 20 milliliter bottle, so you mix 20 milliliters of water, so the total is going to be 40 milliliters. And then that, you can take that and then you go 0.3 per bird, which would equal out to pretty close, if not more than 50 birds that you can vaccinate with that for us, the numbers.
Alex, how did you get the water in here?
So what I normally do is I take a regular needle.
I'm going to show them in the camera.
Yeah, and I take a regular needle, and I take the regular needle itself, and
what size is this? Is this
This is just a regular 3 milliliter. Good question. 3 milliliter needle. It doesn't matter. You got to remember 20 milliliters. Always remember 20 milliliters go 20 milliliters of water. So however you calculate that out on the actual syringes that you're utilizing.
So what we did. This is a 3 milliliter needle syringe, right? So what we did was we took 6 and a little bit of this full, and we dumped it into here.
Right.
Right. So that'll be 18 plus let's say 19 or 20, almost 20, or just at 20, right?
Right.
And we mix it into the bottle. So now the stuff that was in the bottle, that's 20 milliliters, and the water 20 milliliters, and so we have 40 milliliters now to give to the birds.
Now it becomes a liquid.
It's liquid now.
So you shake it, and then make sure that it actually becomes a liquid,
yeah.
dissolved through. You'll see it when it becomes a liquid. Now what I usually do is, instead of disturbing the cap, like I said, I inject the water down into the actual liquid to make up the mixture that I want. Now I want to draw it out of here. I take another needle, which, and I showed Curtis, is I use a 1 milliliter needle gauge, which is a lot easier to maintain. You can kind of count 3 milliliters a lot easier with the 1 milliliter gauge. I take that and I stick it in like you're going to do a regular dose draw, and then I just draw out to a 1 milliliter for the birds. And then once I draw it up, I pull the needle out. Now again, we're not doing actual injections, so we're just doing actual drops. So now I take the needle off. Now I have a vial of 1 milliliters, and then again, it's 0.3 milliliters per birds. So now what we're going to do is, we got this set at 1 milliliter, so we go 1, right? 1, 2, 3. So where are we going to go down to?
We're going to go to, why don't you go ahead and do it here?
Okay.
Sure.
So what I normally do is I hold the birds, or you can have, if you have a regular holder, you can use that. And then I just open the bird's beak up, and I just inject the 3 milliliters down in the bird. So and then that's it. Bird's done.
We're gonna do another one just to show you. Okay, just so you have it down.
Right.
By the way, this is the next champion. This is the next champion right here.
I wanted to make sure that you guys, I wanted to touch base with Curtis because I wanted to kind of show you the process of actually doing this. So again, you know.
Notice the needle is off, right? So
yeah, there's no needle. All we're doing is droplets down into the bird's throat. So what I usually do is just make sure, open the bird's beak, come in, and I put my 0.3 in. Okay.
Okay. By the way, this is the next champion also. Yes, sir.
You know, and then you just keep going through that whole process until you get all of your birds vaccinated.
All right.
Really
good stuff.
Really simple process. You're probably asking, well, where can you get this from? Curtis will probably have a link that he could put either there or up here somewhere it's called Performance Pigeon Supplies.
I'll get him the link.
Yeah. And then you can, what you don't use, I should have told you guys, I just put it right back into the bottle. But you'll use it all. And then that's it. Pretty simple.
All right, so that's how you vaccinate for.
This is how you vaccinate for salmonella. Obviously, we know what salmonella does to the birds. So that's again, it's a new vaccine that so it comes in a powdered format. You mix water with it. Rather, it can be demineralized water, regular tap water. And once you mix the water with it, you draw it out just like you normally would draw it out. But you, instead of doing an injection, you just putting the droplets down the throat. Right. Or you can mix it in a 50 dose just to drinkers force the birds.
So basically, guys, now when you treat for salmonella now with this form, you don't have to inject the birds. This is much easier. It's much more straightforward, and I like I said, I like it because of that. You know, I don't particularly like sticking the birds. You know, I've had a few slip ups here and there. You know, you're gonna have that, and you know, if I have a chance to vaccinate the birds but not have to use a needle and give them it orally, that's awesome. So that's one of the reasons why I opted to use this method this year. Okay, I will drop a link to Alex's store where you can find these medications. Alex, what other medication you have here?
Okay, a couple of medications that we do have. We have, again, the rotor PMV vaccine. This is the ones that normally if you're sending birds to one loft race, which in pretty much a lot of us are sending birds to one loft race, or if you're just doing the club racing, because the rotavirus affects a lot of the young birds, 99% of the young birds. One of the things is, this is one of the vaccines that I use and Curtis is using, especially when we're actually vaccinating our birds this year. Another vaccine that we're using is called the PMV herpes vaccine. Also, I have in the store, as well as the PMV adeno and herpes vaccine, or the PHA vaccine that's in the store as well. Again, these are all vaccines that are normally are utilized by the flyers, and it's just your preference for is the adenovirus, the herpes virus. Obviously, we know we're doing the actual PMV or paramyxis virus that we're utilizing also. So that's what's in the store.
But this one that we demonstrated today, that's the only one that's orally, you can give orally.
This is the only one, correct. And ask a quick question, good question. Only one you can do orally. All the other ones you do.
And that's the salmonella.
And that's the salmonella. It's about 89 and 90% effective. Now the effectiveness of this starts to take effect about 14 days after you actually do the droplets on the birds. So how often you do it is a good question. Also, you were going to add, we'd already talked about this offline. You normally do it once, and then it recommends that you do a booster, which is 14 days later. And then you're good for a year. And that's what all the vaccines, one of the things is you do one and then you do a booster, which is good for a year. It's a normal rotation of how we vaccinate our birds.
Yep. And between Alex and I mean, you know, we haven't, you know, I haven't used the drop form before, but we don't have very many sick birds. You know, our birds, I mean, you know, and I think that's kind of because we we just keep on the program, you know, and try and keep our birds tight, especially the birds I'll be sending off to the One Love races. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'll drop a link to Alex's store. He doesn't only sell, you know, medicine and stuff. He sells everything that you could find in any other pigeon store. Even pigeon food, even specialty pigeon mixes you could find in his store. Okay, pigeon boxes and you know, nest boxes and drinkers and perches and anything you could think about, he has it in his store. So you know, and on top of that, his prices are very, very competitive, if not better. So you know, I'm happy to have met him. You know, he lives 15-20 minutes from my house, 20 minutes, and you know, we become really good friends, like brothers. And you know, yeah, thanks for watching again. I will keep you posted. And thanks for watching. And you know, go check out his store. You know, give my brother some love, right? Okay, I appreciate you guys. And hope you guys are having success this year with your breeding programs. It's been a rough winter here with so much coldness and ice and everything else, but like I said, my birds are still up in the air right now. They're coming around and they're flying, and so you know, I've managed to keep them healthy, keep them going, and you know, we'll be doing some One Love races this year. And one more quick thing, don't forget, we do have the in our club, Alex is I'm in his club, we do have the futurity race. It's called the Banks of Wabash futurity race. And we're still taking entries. Some of us might be close to getting full. I'll also drop a link to that. But if you want to test your birds for a small fee and win some money, have a chance to win some money, check out our futurity race, because it's a really, really good race. It's been around for many years, and a lot of flyers have a lot of success flying futurity race. And send your birds to our lofts, and if you do, your chances of winning is pretty good. You know, I'm not guaranteeing any victories, but we've done pretty well in the club, and so yeah. And so, any birds that come into our lofts, or anybody, you know, into our lofts, you know, have a nice chance of winning. I'm not boasting, but I'm just going on the records, yeah. You know. And so, nice talking to you again. Hope to talk to you soon. I appreciate you guys. Love, peace. You know, I'm the good-looking one here, so I get to do all the talking.
That's what we deal with every day. He's the good-looking one. That's the one.
I'm the good-looking one here and everything, so I get to do the talking, guys. Peace. Love. We talk to you later. Bye.